The Arab American community needs to be reminded and cannot forget. He wants to ban Muslims, he wants to deport Muslims, and he wants to start internment camps. And that's what we are busy talking to every voter. He's telling you what he's going to do.
This is where we see fear-mongering in full effect. They're framing Trump's policies as if they're direct threats to democracy, yet completely ignore that his policies, controversial as they may be, still went through the same checks and balances we all trust. Painting every policy as a sign of the end doesn't hold up to scrutiny. It's an ominous rhetoric, not a fact.
Believe him.
Internment camps?
Yes, he has talked internment camps. You know what, Jake? You may have to visit me in one. I get worried enough when he talks about what he's going to do to his political enemies.
Okay, on yesterday's episode of The Lead, Democratic representative, of course, Debbie Dingell, told Jake Tapper that Trump was going to send her to an internment camp. But unfortunately, she's far from the only pundit and lawmaker who's panicked about the possibility of being thrown in prison or an internment camp should Donald Trump get elected for a second term. In fact, let's watch a clip from yesterday's episode of The View in which Mika Brzezinski also broke down on air. Let's watch.
This is the descent into fascism, if we so choose. Normalizing January 6th, it's a day of love. It's a day of love. I'll say it again and again and again.
This line is clearly intended to mock and discredit the idea that any party of January 6th could be viewed positively. But using Day of Love to label political supporters implies they're endorsing violence, which is misleading and inflammatory. Not everyone who questions the narrative around January 6th is endorsing chaos. Many simply want honest debate and accountability on both sides. Reducing it to simplistic labels like this ignores the broader conversation on freedom and protest in America.
Normalizing enemy from within. I'll say it again and again. I'll say it again and again until you get tired of it, until it's not so funny anymore, or you think he doesn't mean it until you realize he does mean it and it's too late. Saying these strict abortion bans are a beautiful thing. Yeah. Are you kidding me? We got to wake up. And here's the good news, because I come with such dire warnings and I mean them from the bottom of my heart. As a daughter of refugees who came here escaping war, came here for America to be a part of a democracy, to be a part of building something beautiful where they could be free. I'm telling you, the good news is that I believe women will be the beacon in this election.
Am I losing my mind in feeling that this hyperbolic rhetoric is not helpful?
Yeah, well, 50-50 in my opinion. So when Debbie Dingell says he's gonna start internment camps, he never said that. That is not helpful. On that, you're 100% right. Because once she says something that he didn't say, then not only the right wing, but independents will discount every other thing you've said. Not just every other thing you've said, but every other thing that anyone on the left has said. He never said internment camps. Don't say that. Now, on the other hand, Republicans, you keep denying something he 100% did say. He said, I want a total and complete shutdown on Muslims entering the country. That was back when he was running in 2016. Everybody keeps, you know why they pretend that he didn't say that? Because that sounds uncomfortable. Because it's obviously bigoted.
Okay, he did say that. Donald Trump says a lot of dumb crap, okay? A lot of hateful crap, a lot of dumb crap, a lot of undemocratic crap. But like, let's just finish the rest of the story, right? Because he said that about the Muslim ban. He tried to implement the Muslim ban. And then what happened, Cenk? What happened after that?
We fought back,
right?
And people went to the airports, good Americans.
No, that didn't matter at all, okay? That action, I know it makes us feel real good about ourselves. I'm not trying to discount it, but we have a system in place, okay? We have a judicial system. It went through the courts, it was challenged in the courts, and it was struck down.
Yeah, I got you, Anna, but I'm not gonna take a chance on a guy who says, I'd like to ban you and your family because you guys are so dirty and inferior to us. And I think you're violent savages, so I'm gonna ban you. I'm not gonna take a chance on that guy, number one. Number two, he actually tried it. He had to be stopped before he did his fascist idea.
Fascist idea? That is overblown. Trump's policies were proposed, scrutinized, and even halted by the legal system. When the left tosses around words like fascist, they're not only distort reality, but they also downplay the value of our legal institutions, which have time and again upheld their role. Checks and balances have worked, and calling every move fascist is just a scarce tactic.
Okay, number three, people saw all that and were like, yay, I love Trump, let's ban Muslims, yay. Be honest, okay? So we want to take another shot. And number three or four, whatever I'm on, he has his own dumbass judges now littering the country. So one of them threw out a perfectly good criminal case against him. A very, very important criminal case against them. So maybe we run into a judge who goes, yeah, I think that Muslims are dirty, violent savages. I'm just as bigoted and racist as Donald Trump. I do let it stand. I mean, Trump is saying, let's deport anyone who criticizes and protests Israel on a college campus. Not just arrest, he says arrest them and deport them.
No, I know he says that. Okay,
so is he
how
going
would
to try to do that? Of course he's going to try to do that.
How would that process work, considering the majority of these individuals are American citizens? So where exactly were he?
Okay, so first of all the non-Americans are screwed. You came here, you paid a lot of money to go to, wherever you're going, Syracuse, Penn State, wherever you're going, right? And he's like, oh yeah, that's it, you're screwed. You criticized Israel and my biggest donor is a giant right-wing Israeli. Okay, so that's it. You're arrested. I rob you of all your money. I rob you of your diploma and I deport you. I'm not going to elect a monster like that. Debbie Dingell, you don't have to go to internment camps. He already said all this crazy stuff. So stop making us lose credibility. On the other hand, right-wingers, if you're making excuses for how anti-Muslim he is, he uses the word Palestinian as an insult. He doesn't care about Muslim lives one bit.
Donald Trump is deeply racist and he says deeply racist things, okay? I want to make a distinction between Donald Trump, the person who says and does racist things, and the notion of a fascist. Because look, if we're just going to use fascist toward anyone we dislike, all right, then the word doesn't actually mean anything.
Okay, what do you want me to say, Anna? You want me to say wannabe dictator?
Sure, you can say wannabe dictator, but I don't even think he wants to be a dictator.
Of course he does. That's what you do when you lose an election and you go, oh, I got fake electors and I'd like to terminate the Constitution and bring out the tanks and use martial law against American citizens and shoot protesters. I mean, if that's not fascist, then I guess the word just shouldn't exist.
But was he able to do those things?
First of all, his entire cabinet had to threaten, not cabinet, administration, his White House team had to say, we're all going to mass resign if you roll out tanks against American citizens.
Okay, so if you think he's a fascist, wouldn't that justify taking physical action against him?
This is a dangerous narrative. Suggesting that disagreements justify physical action is beyond reckless. It's a hypocrisy from those who claim to be protectors of democracy, and resorting to violence simply because you don't agree with someone's policy goes against the principles of freedom and debate. Right-wingers stand for law and order and resilience, not this sort of chaos.
No, because that doesn't help. That devolves us further into fascism.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's a difference between somebody shooting someone, that's fascism, and saying, I disagree with them, don't elect a fascist prick who says only white people are awesome and everybody else is garbage and should be banned. No, look, I'm not going to take a chance with a monster like that.
I know, you're focusing on whether or not you're going to vote for him. I don't give a damn about that, and that's not what I'm asking you about, Cenk. I don't think that this rhetoric, especially from elected members of Congress, is helpful at a time.
I don't agree.
Okay, all right.
Okay, well, Anna, why do I not agree? Because, so Trump's helpful is rhetoric?
No, his rhetoric is awful.
Okay, if you don't want to be called fascist, stop saying fascist things. It's not that hard.
Okay.
Not that hard. Oh, here, let me have dinner with Nick Fuentes, who's a Nazi, Kanye, who's a Nazi, and let me say there's good people on the Nazi side. Oh, it could be pro-Confederate guys. Might be guys who are pro-slavery who are good guys. Let me do all of these things. Let me say that immigrants are poisoning the blood of our nation, a Nazi term that is only used in the past by Nazis, and then say I'm going to ban Muslims, I'm going to do this and this and this to all the other ethnic groups, and then go, oh, I can't believe you called me a fascist. No, he is a fascist. I'm very happy to call him a fascist.
I want to end off today's video. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts in the comments below. I always like to hear other people's opinion. Hopefully you give us a like and subscribe. Really helps out the channel, and we'll see you guys in the next one.